And if you didn't know.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And off we go on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. We look at this Buffalo defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
Into space at the 45. Down the left sideline. And finally taken down at the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question, because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field and what was a fairly innocuous play call.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Koo knocks this one through the post. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Robinson is into the end zone. It's a Falcons touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Man who played collegiately nearby in Athens for the Bulldogs, James Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You talk about this Falcon defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
To throw, it's Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
I do think that sometimes on 3rd and long, many defenders just get caught watching the sticks instead of watching the ball. And the guy who's got it, because here, they just got the ball into the receiver's hands and told him to do it yourself, a little bit of a desperation play. And he was able to take the short throw and turn it into a big gain and a conversion on 3rd down. That's a big pickup. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a run. Here's the 1st-round pick from April's draft. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 23, here's a 2nd down and 4. A give to Cook out of the gun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Play action. Now it's Allen. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. That's taken in. It's Keon Coleman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From midfield, here's Allen. That is complete downfield to Knox. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Falcons had 8 and 5 to start play, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 22-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A play fake. Now Penix. Crossing route incomplete. He's got Pitts. 12 more yards there and another first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Dueling the man in motion. And looking to throw. Penix. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Let's go now. Go.
A give left side to Robinson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Sheds off the tackle, and he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly what...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play here for Buffalo. 44 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Allen. Touchdown, Bills. Dalton Kincaid, 36 yards. And the Bills get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. That's out wide here for Robinson. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 3.
19 tight. 19 tight.
Here's Penix. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To the air, Penix. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before half for Allen. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Here's Allen to throw it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinating. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Allen going to throw.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
They'll look down the field here for Kincaid.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
Set.
Now Penix. A throw on the money there to Doolin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons are able to stretch out their lead.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go around.
It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And a nice call and really good execution there, because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Allen to throw once more. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Clark Phillips has got it. And the Falcons are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words every time we hear that. Things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
He got 29 yards that time.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll throw with Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Flush to his right. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. Oh, some strong running. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Koo now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To the air, Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Allen. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. Now, 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Jair Elam makes a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And that is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. To throw, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
And down here, first and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And the Falcons are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains, wear down the clock, and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Come on, set. Set, go.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Penix.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton.
75 yards.
And the Bills have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on second down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Looking to throw, Penix. And this one complete to Doolin.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
I just love how they're going about trying to finish off this game. This is not an offense that's going to go into its shell. They're going to keep exploiting weaknesses where they see them. And that's a huge pickup there with the game in the balance.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. This is 1st and 10.
56.
Allen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, there's a time and a place for everything. Down 2 scores late in the 4th. I get it. Now is the time to throw it downfield, but that one might just write an end to this ball game.
Yeah, I hear all the time how critical I am of play calls. Not in this situation. No other choice, really. Look at the clock. Look at the scoreboard. Had to press it and take a chance.
19, Pioneer. Set.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he is going to have a Falcons first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the draw here with Robinson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the